Now, as you can see, we've come outside Calendar Towers, ITV television centre above us, to try and flog this woman a car. Madam,
yes.
Only 43 previous owners.
That's not many. That's too many. Slightly too many.
Plenty of room inside for you?
Actually, roomier than I expected. Yeah, this is the Mini, isn't it? And it's actually celebrating its 60th birthday.
This isn't any Mini. This is Doris. Take a look around. This is Doris. She's 56 years old. The Mini is actually 60 years old, celebrating its diamond anniversary. And Matt Price has been to the British Motor Museum for a bit of a party.
It's the little car celebrating a big birthday. At this event, call it a party if you will, it's like stepping back into 1959. And from the collectible to the contemporary, this mini event is far from small. Exhibitors have travelled the distance to mark this diamond anniversary. Ian has made the trip from Homefirth.
I think everybody's got a memory of the Mini from when they were growing up. You know, certainly for me in the 70s and 80s, they were just everywhere. They were street furniture, they were people's first cars. You know, my mum had one. And now, the unfortunate thing is it's really rare you even see one on the road on a normal day.
A British design with global appeal. They've got models here from Chile and Hungary. Julie and her husband have even made the 10,000-mile trip from Sydney.
You're from Australia?
Correct.
Why have you come so far for this?
Passionate about minis. They're our life at home. We've got quite a collection of them, so this is a big event to come to, and so of course we're going to come over here and see all the cars.
New this year at the Motor Show is the Morris Mini Minor.
It was back in August 1959 that the Morris Mini Minor was first launched. A small, practical, economical car which came about due to a fuel shortage. Who'd have thought then we'd still be celebrating that success today?
Not for a second, no. It was supposed to be replaced before 10 years old, and it stayed in production for 41 years. People are still restoring them and rebuilding them. I think if you sat down some of the original team today and just said, was this ever something you never thought about? And the answer would have been no.
They were just really basic back then. Everything about them was basic. You could work on them. I mean, we've done many trips where we've had problems, but with a few spare bits, and we had a throttle cable go, and that's just a bike brake cable. We could get that, sort of fix that, get going again.
The Mini might have changed over the years. It is now bigger, faster, and of course safer. But one thing remains the same, its popularity, with 33,000 registered in the UK this year alone.
Many of the modern models are still built in the UK. The production line looks a little different, granted, as they now install hybrid and electric engines. But bosses are keen to maintain at least a little tradition.
Well, I think the image is pretty similar, and I think, again, because of the characteristics of the car, they haven't changed over the full 60 years. You know, that go-kart handling, the iconic styling, that hasn't changed.
But for many enthusiasts, it's the classics they hold a soft spot for. A 1950s design that no doubt will continue to turn heads for years to come. Matt Price, ITV News.
Excellent parking and some fantastic vintage footage there. As well as Doris, we've got another special guest with us this evening.
Yes, we're joined by Liz Halpine from Barnsley, car enthusiast and the owner of Doris.
Correct.
What is it you love so much about these old Minis?
I believe that the Mini is the most iconic vehicle that the British have ever built, and you can't get better. 60 years old as well.
I was surprised by how roomy it actually is inside, because from the front, Doris actually looks tiny compared to today's Minis.
It is. Well, it's the same Mini, but what they've done in the earlier Minis, which was really clever of them, they did away with the headrest because they didn't need them, and they've done away with the dashes, so it looks extremely big compared to the modern Minis that have all the walnut dashes and all the extras in it.
You've actually got about 20 of them, have you? All shapes and sizes and varieties.
That's it. That's what we do for a living, but we also love the Mini as well. And like I said, we wouldn't do it if we didn't love it.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, Liz, we're going to take a look at a couple of pictures now, because I love the Mini too. It's a similar racing green, this first one, and believe it or not, that is me, age 2, on the seafront near where I used to live, next to my dad's very first Mini.
How old were you there?
I was definitely about 2, so that was in about October 60. Yes, we'll leave that one. We'll move on to the next one, because it's a beautiful blue one, this one, and I've moved up. I'm about 5.5 now.
Have you got your socks pulled down?
I've got my socks pulled down. That's my favourite red jumper, that though. That was absolutely beautiful. So they are a special part in everybody's lives. And Liz, thank you so much for bringing Doris to see us today. Weather time now, bit breezy out here. Here's Aisling with your forecast.